But first, hundreds of new jobs could be headed to Pickens County, all thanks to a new federal women's prison under construction in Aliceville. Officials saying the jobs range from physicians to correctional officers.
And with an unemployment rate sitting at 12%, this adds up to good news for residents and the surrounding community. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman has more.
This is the largest economic development project that has ever happened to our knowledge in the Black Belt.
The federal prison is a $250 million project which over the past 4 years pumped 600 temporary construction jobs into the community. The next step is staffing the prison. Dozens of people turned out today hoping to learn about a new career.
I came here before because I'm unemployed, been unemployed since December, for the position of security guard at the prison. Like everyone else here, just looking for a job to keep on going.
Oh, I want to stay with it. I'm looking for a career. I want to be there for 20, 30 years, hopefully.
Officials say Congress still has to approve a budget for the prison, but they are expected to consider it in October.
Right now, there is no exact ideal. We have 15 jobs announced right now currently, just run a skeleton crew and keep the gates and the institution secure, but we don't know when the other positions will open right yet.
The goal is to fill the jobs by next spring. Economic Development Director Alan Harper says when the prison does get up and running, it will be a major boost to the community.
If we can capture 100 of those jobs in Pickens County, 100 of those, that will be quite an economic boost because we've got the payroll here, we've got the folks buying groceries that live here, buying gas, buying hardware supplies, auto parts, so it really will be an economic boost for the community as well as the entire region.
Harper says the prison should also bring in visitors and vendors, which the city hopes will also pump additional revenue into the economy. In Aliceville, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
And for more information, call the Federal Bureau of Prisons at area code 972-352-4200 or go to WVUATV.com and click on numbers and links.
WVUA is covering Brookwood, where Friday marks the 10-year anniversary of the Brookwood mine tragedy. On September 23, 2001, 13 miners inside Brookwood's Jim Walter mine died after an explosion inside mine number 5. Methane gas ignited, causing an explosion. After that, some miners were trapped and died while trying to save others. On this 10th anniversary, signs of remembrance can be seen all across Brookwood. 13 crosses bearing the names of the victims have been placed in the front yard of one family near the Walter mine. The victims' names and flowers have been placed all along the fence. Residents say it's important to never forget what happened and to remember those who were lost.
We don't need to forget what happened to them. I mean, they need to be safe. I mean, the safety precautions need to be took in consideration with these miners that works underground.
Just like it was the first anniversary, it's the same all the time. I mean, it's in your mind, my mind all the time, every day. I never forget it.
The city of Tuscaloosa is hosting a memorial on Friday in honor of the 13 miners and their families. Organizers say they anticipate a large crowd marking the 10th anniversary. The program will be held at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. Former University of Alabama football player Saran Stacy will be the MC and guest speaker. Gates open at 4 p.m. The service starts at 5. Watch WVUA News all this week for special coverage as we remember the lives lost in mine number 5 1 decade ago.
New at 6, people wanting to help with storm relief efforts in Tuscaloosa can now sign up to volunteer with just the click of a mouse. The city has created the Tuscaloosa Area Volunteer Reception Center website. Also, residents who need assistance with clearing debris or making repairs can receive information at that same site too. Officials say the Volunteer Reception Center has also been relocated to 2512 University Boulevard. For more information about volunteering or receiving help, call area code 205-248-5045. And you can also find a shortcut to this new website just by going to WVUATV.com and click on numbers and links.
New at 6 on your Health Watch, protecting your family from the flu. It's now easier than ever to fight the flu because this year you won't even have to get out of your car. The Tuscaloosa County Health Department is hosting a drive-through flu clinic next week. Officials saying they have plenty of vaccine and they're encouraging everyone to come out. The cost is $5 unless you're on Medicare, Medicaid, and Blue Advantage. Organizers say people with those plans will get the shots for free. The drive-through clinic will be Thursday, September 29th at Bowers Park. It starts at 7 a.m. and runs through 6 p.m. Alabama is making history by becoming one of the first states to offer a prosthetic bionic leg. It's the world's first bionic lower leg system that uses robotics to replicate the actions of the leg and foot. It's developed by a Massachusetts company called iWalk and was previously available through the military. Now it's available through a dozen prosthetic providers around the country, including Alabama Artificial Limb in Montgomery.
New for you at 6, former Governor Bob Riley is already planning his next motorcycle trip, even though he's still recovering from his recent motorcycle crash. As you may recall, back in June, 66-year-old Riley crashed while on a long motorcycle ride in Alaska. Riley says he didn't think he was hurt at first, but wound up having to rely on strangers and other riders to take him to a hospital. Riley says his broken ribs, collarbone, punctured lung, and other injuries are still healing, but he's already picked out a new motorcycle. Riley says he hopes to ride the Pacific Coast Highway sometime during next year.
New at 6, new research shows oil from the BP spill is not breaking down in the Gulf as quickly as some had hoped. Researchers say the tar balls that washed up on Alabama's coast prove oil left over from last year's BP oil spill is taking longer to break down. Those tar balls were washed onto the beaches by Tropical Storm Lee Labor Day weekend. Auburn University says the tar appeared relatively fresh and unchanged from when the oil first poured into the Gulf during the spill. Researchers saying mats of oil are still submerged on the seabed, and that could cause long-term threats to coastal ecosystems. BP is not commenting on that study.